Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth4 for another episode of Paranormasight. In the last episode, we had some shocking revelations to say the least. Richter's, or Harue's team and Satsumi's team, checked out Michio Shiraishi's, house, and, her common-law stepfather, Kankashiro Iwai, was dead there, seemingly crushed by a curse. And we found out a lot about everything. It turns out he was the one that had kidnapped Harue's son the year before, and not for a ransom, but in order to use for some sort of ritual. And he was also a big fan of Nejima. So yeah, there's just a lot, too much to handle is right. But we're going to take a little break from that and go see how the girls are doing, talking to Mr. Araishi. The Rite of Resurrection is the inception of this whole affair. Yakko and Mio decide to confront the man responsible for spreading rumors of it in the first place, Hideki Araishi. They find him at his frequent stopping grounds, the Kurokikyo Cafe. And also, apparently, Kankashiro Iwai was working for the Hihaku soaps because the chairwoman wants eternal youth. So that's not good. 12 p.m. I already see a sticker. You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules by just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'd be hot in water if you lied about having permission from the police, remember that. We know, it'll be okay. Excuse me. So, what do you want to ask me? Oh, look around. Yeah. Mockingbird number 8. Was there something else for us to see in the files there? No, we read through this, didn't we? I think so. So I guess this part's new. Subsequent investigation revealed that the culprit was in fact Kankashiro Iwai. Yeah, he had Michio lure the boy in order to use him as a sacrifice, which, man, messed up to say the least. A cafe, I've never been to one before. How exciting. It's pretty smelly inside because of cigarette smoke, but oh, we can learn about cafes. Oh, and Shuichi is also updated over here. Kurokikyo Cafe. A coffee shop on South Raragasui Street, Kurokikyo Cafe's convenient location has made it a favorite of businessmen in the neighborhood. Although formerly a relaxing location where classical and jazz music were played, the cafe has begun incorporating some pop songs into its playlist at the request of customers. The most popular menu is a pilaf served with black coffee, although cream soda topped with a large scoop of ice cream is also a popular choice. Fashionable cafes featuring jazz and live performances were in the vogue until the mid-Showa era, where the number of cafes offering a carefully brewed cup of coffee and relaxed atmosphere began to increase. Many of these locations also have public telephones, making them convenient meeting places. However, they also developed a reputation as hangout spots for delinquents, leading a large number of schools to forbid their students from patronizing them. In recent years, table arcade games have become a big hit, affording cafes installing them a steady stream of customers. Again, this takes place in like the 70s, 80s. Yakko, if you would. Right, we want to ask you about this. Oh my, a curse stone. An Okame mask, that must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night? Damn, there of all places. Yakko, you're one of them? You're a curse bearer? Please calm down, Mr. Araishi. Your reaction's too intense. It's kind of scaring me. Sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you want to know about your curse stone? What would be the best way to approach this? We're definitely going to flatter him. It's just a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well-versed in these matters. You're the only one we can count on, Mr. Araishi. Won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, he's a wuss. Excuse me. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and the 7 Mysteries curse stones happening now? Oh, taking an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? You sound like a researcher starting your questions with your subject's origins. Mr. Araishi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then, do you know the ancient Amyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? What is that? Something for the occult? Ms. Kurosuzu, you look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. In that case, why do you think the rite and curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it you want to know? Well, he may not tell us anything else if we say that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. Right. Make something up. Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity and think it could really help your research. I see. Now that you mention it. Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about... Oh, yeah, let's ask about his research. Then what does the record of fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see. That's what you want to know. Allow me to first elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. Yeah, if there's one way you can get researchers is to talk about their own work, and oh my god, they will just go on forever. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. The Record of Fates was written 200 years ago in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known onmyoji called Seimon Tsuchimikado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this. Seimon Tsuchimikado? I've never heard of him. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates. As brilliant as Seimon was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that has never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. The Record of Fates are the writings Seimon recorded on the road to Edo. I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself? The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Abe no Seime's specialty, the Taizan Fukun ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. Oh, wow, I never knew something like that existed. Thus, it is thought the only ones who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place. So the Rite of Resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then, when the soul dregs are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever's performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fates end there. There's no more? What about the 7 mysteries of the Curse Stones? There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The Curse Stones are separate from the Rite of Resurrection. I guess they're just a means. Their curse is one used to enable one. Their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. Yeah, so they're just enabling. That's similar to what Mio said, actually. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Onmyoji. Sorry again. An officially appointed government position with the Bureau of Onmyo in medieval Japan. Onmyoji were tasked with performing divinations and rituals. They would employ the Chinese philosophies of yin and yang and wuxing, the 5 elements, to compose astronomical charts and almanacs. High-ranking practitioners used a variety of mystical arts, including ones that brought natural disasters and curses. Onmyoji were also tasked with exorcising demons through the use of shikigami. Onmyoji thrived during the Heian period, in part due to the work of the famous Onmyoji and later founder of the Tsuchimikado clan, Abe no Seimei. However, Onmyoji began to gradually decline in number after samurai gained control of Japan. At the same time, many of their miraculous arts were lost along with the development of civilization. Although the services of Onmyoji were typically reserved for the upper class, there were a number of shomonji, or hidden Onmyoji, who worked for the common folk. Sorry. Let's see. According to record of fates, a mysterious ritual was devised by the gift of Onmyoji Abe no Seimei, converted the souls of the dead, etc., etc. Yeah, we just learned that. How are the 7 mysteries related to the Rite, then? Excuse me, Mr. Araishi? What is it, Ms. Kurosuzu? You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the Rite of Resurrection and origin of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo are related somehow. What proof did you have of that? You really know your stuff, but about that. There was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There's a basis for it. And that is? Well, I suppose there's no harm telling a couple students so passionate about this topic. Thank you. This is something I discovered from referencing numerous texts related to the Record of Fates. It was just after Seimon arrived in Hanjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Hanjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead? I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. There's only one remaining reference. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual. This is Danganronpa? No, this is 999. I call this tragedy the Hanjo incident. It has long been a subject of my research. I suspect this Hanjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. So what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the root of the Hanjo incident is Seimon's Rite of Resurrection? Yes, that's how the Record of Fates ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first Seimon brought the Rite of Resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by this point Seimon was likely using a different name. Then in Hanjo, 9 people fought to the death over this rite, the Hanjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. Eventually, it was passed down in incomplete pieces, being known as the 7 Mysteries of Hanjo. That's more or less the course of events. Wow. Okay, so that's a lot. Chain of events occurred. So basically, like, let's say the Whispering Canal here, right? So this story, you know, the girl whose parents disappeared and then, you know, walked into the water, the Fool's Procession with, you know, this person, you know, who had the mask glued to her face. So that all seems to have been part, the fire here, that all seems to have been part of the Hanjo incident. Yeah, he deceived us with his so-called Rite of Resurrection. So they're all connected. All these people died in connection to the Rite of Resurrection. Yeah, she was in Onmyoji as well. So I guess she was fighting with somebody over it. The One-Sided Reed, the Ever-Burning Lantern. The Soba Cart. This man must have had something to do with that. Interesting. So, hopefully we'll find out more about how everybody is connected to each other, because man, so that's how they're connected. Then if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries are basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. How are they related? And there's more. Huh? With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become even more confident in my theory. You are? Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories. Yakko, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted on your mind. Oh, I did! Yeah, exactly. Those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Hanjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involve dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. The 9 victims became the 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Hanjo incident. Huh. That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's procession, Yakko. Ugh. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get. Okay. Okay, Mr. Araishi, I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's procession. Excellent. So basically, it's about a woman who died falling from a Yakura tower at a festival. Huh, interesting. It's not that one, then. Not that one? What do you mean? Among the 9 victims at the Hanjo incident, that is to say, the 9 curse echoes, one of them is Seimon himself, or so I suspect. Huh? Seimon was one of the victims of the Hanjo incident too? Meaning an Onmyoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo? Right. It would make sense that the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. That kind of sounds like Nejima. He said he could kill a lot of people. But the one-sided read didn't involve a guy dying, it involved a woman dying, didn't it? I don't know. The power of a curse stone is different based on the curse echo? Mio, Mio, Mio! Then maybe with Seimon's curse echo we could... Yes, we may be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing, sorry. Mr. Araishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I've learned a number of them. The Evergreen Beach, the Foot-Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's Procession makes 4. Dang it, we already know those. Of those, the most important are the Foot-Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What are they about? First, the Foot-Washing Mansion. An Onmyoji appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Seimon, I'm afraid. A female Onmyoji who sought the rite of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. That sounds a lot like the chairwoman of Heihaku Soaps. Her legs, which she had always taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Seimon. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary for you to use the curse. Yeah, you just have to hear the word wash. That detective did well to escape this one. So a female Onmyoji and rival of Seimon was involved in the Hanjo incident. That certainly is interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echoes from a craftsman of Netsuke carvings named Jinkichi who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The Rite of Resurrection! Precisely, this man named Jinkichi must have been in contact with Seimon. If I could just collect all of the memories, everything will be revealed and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. That is the knowledge I desire. Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives, but they might not find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own. What's the trigger? Another thing, yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really? You're not hiding something from us, are you? It has something to do with how you obtain the records of fate, right? Ugh. How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? Tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today, they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Nejima murders 20 years ago. What? Something so terrible will happen? I wouldn't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Araishi, please tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the Record of Fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I actually didn't see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said, I entrust you with this ancient manuscript and the rite of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming months. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month. She specified the time period? I was told that if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. It must have had you spread rumors in order to strengthen the power of the curse. To tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all this. Hence I went public with the Record of Fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boom for me. Huh? Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps? Right. I mean, no, that's not important, just some personal business. After that, I waited, trying to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curses began. Those are all the details I have. Is there anything else you know? Very well, I've told you this much. I may as well give you one more thing. Thank you. What might that be? About Seimon's Record of Fates. There's sort of a continuation to it, another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll. A continuation? Actually, a section written in Seimon's own hand was appended to the manuscript. According to which, after the Hanjo incident, Seimon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event after the tragedy became its own curse. After the tragedy that became its... Oh, sorry. For the event that the tragedy... He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. Okay, so in the event that it became its own curse. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Hanjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information is inaccurate? No, but you told us he was one of the victims. If Seimon died in the Hanjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. You don't really get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Seimon possessed? Of course not. He could use the rite of Oh! You're telling me Seimon used it on himself? The rite of resurrection can be carried out in advance that activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Then, is it not possible that Seimon himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place? But he still have to collect the soul dregs needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died, the 8 others besides Seimon. What? They died in the Hanjo incident for their soul dregs? It sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. Wait, does that mean that somebody has it so that when any of us collect all the soul dregs, it's going to instantly do what they want as opposed to what we want? Is that why we died in the beginning? Because we didn't bring back the right person? I don't know. That's why I need the resentful memories to learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone. Only this information was left. Supposedly, Seimon's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. It seems that over their long history, the two documents became separated and the scroll's location lost as the family line branched. Seimon had descendants, so there's someone out there related to him by blood even now? Yes, in fact, I've tried to trace the line as far as I could. Well, he wasn't a well-known Onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. It seems likely that the use of manuscript has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't quite aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, Seimon himself wrote about the ways to handle the curse and the Rite, yes? That's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but I haven't found a single lead. So if you two find out anything about the other resentful memories of the Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. Wow, okay. Lot over here. It said the Seimon Tsuchimikado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Hanjo incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul dregs for the Rite of Resurrection. Well, he was correct. The existence of the scrolls indicated in a postscript added to Record of Fates, but its whereabouts are currently unknown. Somehow... So we have to figure out how the heck to find a descendant of this guy. The Record of Fates was written by Seimon Tsuchimikado, or extraordinary practitioner after being banished from his family. Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. What a slime ball. Alright. 1 p.m. Yeah, I can't, every time it has the time, I just can't help but think of the turtles in time. We've learned a lot. So to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other for the resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll may have info we want, since the details had to stop the Rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yin Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle the situation. But even Mr. Araishi didn't have any leads on where it is. So how do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now must have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curses is involved too. Right. So what should we do next? So Mio, what are we gonna do next? Good question. It may be best to give the information we just learned to Inspector Tsutsumi. We got a pretty big clue from hearing about the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Mr. Tsutsumi might know more about it. Should we go back to school then? Yeah, that's our point of contact after all. What about the mastermind? Whoever's behind that voice gave Mr. Araishi the Record of Fates. That must be the mastermind, don't you think? Yeah, and he said it sounded like it belonged to a woman. Whoever it is, I bet they're scary. Huh? You don't sound like the Yakko I know. Let's catch them all, make them spill the beans. I thought you'd say something like that. Really? I guess I'm not really feeling that confident right now. I understand. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know if it's related to the woman behind the voice, but I'm also interested in the female in Miyoji who is a rival of a Seimon. Yeah. What's that about? Nearby area. Oh, that reminds me, Mio. You know what's nearby here, don't you? Huh? Oh, you mean where Michio... Yeah, where it happened. I was going there every day to leave flowers. even though they always get cleared away anyway. I'm sure it must be hard to have to be reminded of Michio's death all the time. Oh, that reminds me. Yakko? Yeah? When you asked me to do the spirit board 2 days ago, did you come here that day too? Yeah, I left some flyers before going to school. Why? Did anything seem different that day? What's this all of a sudden? Though now that you mention it, that day I suddenly felt lightheaded and ended up passing out for a bit. But I came to right away and felt fine, so I didn't think of anything of it. I see. That's all I was wondering about, thanks. Huh? Excuse me, you girls over there. Oh, God. Whoa! Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention. And who might you be? I'm Yutaro Namagaki. I should probably tell you. Until yesterday, I was a curse bearer. That should clear things up. A curse bearer? Oh, you don't need to be scared. I've already given up the curse stone of the foot washing mansion. Foot washing mansion? So you're the one Inspector Tsumi was talking about. Ah, you already know Inspector Tsumi. That makes this simple. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, hey. You're in the driver's seat. Yakko? Yes? Wait, what? Just now, was I doing something? Sorry, Mr. Namagaki, what might be the matter? Right, I actually wanted to discuss something with you two. Would you come with me if you have a little time? Discuss something? With us? You were talking about Michio Shiraishi, right? It's related to that. Huh? I'm sure you would learn a few things yourselves. If not now, later is fine. I'll be waiting around Ryugoku Bridge. Something rubs me the wrong way about this, but he mentioned Michio. What do we do? What's the worst that could happen? Let's talk to him. Let's go with this strange older gentleman. Us being two schoolgirls. Suppose we may as well hear what it is you have to say. Glad to hear it. Then shall we relocate elsewhere? And they were never seen again. Kids, just remember, don't do this. Don't follow weirdos to Bridges. Even if it's Jeff Bridges. So, what did you want to discuss with us? Let's see, how do I put this? I'll tell you straight. I want you two to use your curse stones to bring Michio Shiraishi back from the dead. What? Huh? That's why I was pursuing the rite of resurrection in the first place. Oh yeah? Unfortunately, I had to give him my curse stone before I could succeed. But you two are curse bearers with some kind of connection to her. Which means this is the perfect opportunity for me to ask you this. Well, I'm sorry this is so sudden. I still don't understand why you would want this. What exactly is your relation with Michio? Well, we met briefly once. I was so sad to hear the news of her death the other day. Right. While it would be great if we could bring Michio back, we've already decided not to use the rite of resurrection. Is that so? It seems, however, that we share a goal. I wouldn't mind collecting the soul dregs for you if you gave me your curse stone, you know. We'll have to decline that as well. Our goal is to stop the curse. Where did Yakko just go? I see. Well, that's too bad. I suppose I'll have to give up on the curse stones. Thank you for understanding. Yakko? Thought he was a little suspicious, but he left without making a fuss. But why does he want to bring Michio back? Huh? Yakko? Uh-oh, did she go off somewhere while we were talking? I finally caught up to you. I don't know if you noticed me following you or not, but leading me to a secluded place, you've got guts. I'm sorry, but I'll be taking your curse stone. Either you hand it over, or I'll have to take it by force. What? Oh. Why are you? No, she's here again. I don't understand. Wait, it was just an accident. I swear I didn't mean to. That's why I was trying to bring you back. You're already too late. Omae wa mou shinderu. Okay. Credits rolling. Got it. Well, that's the first time I actually saw Michio there. What the heck? I guess she is alive. Well, I got questions. Do you want to skip the performance? No, I'm not skipping this performance. That's kind of funny it calls it that, though. I like that it's just going so fast. It reminds me of, in Nier Automata. After this, Fumichika Nejima went on to use the power of his curse to commit mass murder, shocking the public with the unprecedented tragedy. And from that day on, Yakko Sakazaki was never heard from again. Ending 1, Michio's Grudge. Okay. So obviously that was a bad ending. I like that it was just an ending though, like dang. Okay. Well, maybe we shouldn't have followed him then. But next time, I think we're gonna try to choose the other option and not deal with that. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here. Everything is connected though. Everything is connected, and I love it. Next time, we'll probably get more questions and answers again, as always. But thank you very much for watching. This has been Sephiroth 4, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.